in your Straits Times op-ed, you also said you don't think COVID-19 will necessarily lead to such a great transformation. Now, here's where I think some people are having some issues trying to put these two together, because for many observers, COVID-19 has revealed a lot of the flaws in modernity, in modern society. And for them, these people, they are impassioned about changing the system for the better. So they want to put together the Prof. Chan Heng Chee, who says democracy is government responsive to people, to argue against the Chan Heng Chee, who says, COVID-19 might not be such a great transformation, because they say this time really is different. This time people are suffering so badly. They need the strong state. A crisis is a terrible thing to waste. How do we make the best use of this crisis to transform societies and governments for the better?
I thought that would come up. When I use the word great transformation, I really do mean a great transformation in historical terms over decades. And in fact, Gerard Diamond, the guy who wrote Guns, Germs, and Steel, called COVID-19 a bagatelle, something not very important. It's not as important as nuclear war, depletion of resources, climate change, and I think inequality. He considers that very important. So after a while, COVID will pass. But in my lecture on Singapore, I will return to this because I feel that COVID hits Singapore differently because of the nature of Singapore. First, I'll be talking about this. You are a country that is so dependent on trade, the reconfiguration of the supply chains. But when I look globally and over historical time, I just think that, there's a lot of people hyperventilating about a lot of great changes that are going to happen. But there are equally a group of urbanologists and so on to say, wait a minute, don't underestimate the difficulty of changing human behavior. So it is at one level, the level of, I guess, the great transformation over years, I'm talking of that. Now, transformation in Singapore and don't waste a crisis, yes. I know exactly where these questions are coming from. And I do agree with them that this COVID-19 has brought up, in fact, all the points about the foreign workers, the situation. And I think that's being addressed, and a good thing it is being addressed. But I'm putting it I'm speaking on a global scale and over a longer period. So when I come to Singapore, I will say that COVID-19, however, has a deeper impression and meaning for Singapore.
Excellent. That last comment.
So that's how I'm talking globally now. And because I've been and Yuval Harari too, he thinks he thinks in eons, and he looks at I guess centuries and the projection of time. I guess also is because when I look back at all the other crises, we really reverted a lot to norm with some changes. We internalized some changes. So, I think this COVID will last next year. Once that we won't change our behavior till there's a vaccine. When there's a vaccine, we will travel, things will be opening up much more. And people are talking of 1.5 years to get the vaccine. So let me just be conservative and push it to next year, end of next year or middle of next year. Then after that, we will start changing. And I think the economic recovery will be the hardest one for everybody globally. Will it take 10 years like the Great Depression, or will it be faster? So I guess I have seen how the global financial crisis bounced back much quicker than we thought. I saw the Asian financial crisis bounce back much faster than we thought. And if you look at 9/11, people got over it, So I'm taking that historical recent record to guide my thinking.
But it might be that we could still argue about that. When SARS happened, it was basically over in 4 months, if not less. And then we had the sharpest rise in Singapore economic activity in all recorded history. Uh,
Yeah.
the global financial crisis was massive on the same kind of scales we're talking about now, massive, but it was not personal. It happened out there. It happened with financial collateralization, CDO squares, and large financial institutions. And in some ways, all people sort of abdicated on that. We said, you, the treasury, you, the financial regulator, fix it. And they didn't. But
Yeah.
this time, COVID-19, it is personal to a degree that none of these previous crises were. Because we see people around us affected, we see the rising numbers in our community. So maybe, anyway, this is just to say, maybe I'm a little bit more hopeful that there will be change, but we'll have to see. But certainly in Singapore, there will be